All right. Thanks, Millie. Good morning, everyone. So just a quick update on our data systems and what's going on. I think Liz has mentioned some of these updates in the past, so just to keep you guys advised. So we did launch our new internal data management system in March 25th. And so that's an internal system to us. There were some bumps and bruises, and we're starting to smooth things out. But there are a couple things that, because we're switching to a new internal system, it does affect how data is viewed on the outside. So one of the big changes is MassDEP staff no longer use EDEP forms to enter our data. So the 101s, the release log forms, 102s, 128s, and 129s are MassDEP staff no longer use those, where we now have a different form, which don't have a name yet, I guess. So when you look up RTNs on searchable sites, you won't see those older forms that have been in place for a while. You'll see a different PDF, which it should have pretty much the same information. And then it'll have, for the 128, the old 128s, it'll have an upload documents form, and it will have the attachment of the actual document, whether that's, an enforcement document or an NOR or whatever the case is. And the other thing that happened is the searchable sites website got revamped a little bit and updated. And so there is a new link. And so that link is provided here on this slide. It looks very similar. Probably if you didn't look closely, you might not even notice a change. One change that is noticeable, I think, is when you get down in searchable sites to the actual documents. There is no longer two tabs for EDEP submittals and old historic scan documents. It's just one tab of documents and listed in chronological order, and you can sort that either ascending or descending, however you'd like. And then our file viewer. So some of you are familiar with the file viewer, and that you could search historically for EDEP submittals only, and you would select a form, and you could search for specific forms for a date range or for an RTN. Like I mentioned, MassDEP staff are not using EDEP forms anymore. So that the file viewer now does not have the capability to search our internal forms. We are working on that issue and hopeful that IT can give us a timely solution in fixing that, so that we can kind of make that search tool whole again for everyone, for both internal and external users. And that's all I have on data. Michelle.
Thanks. Oops, can you go back to the earlier slide, Paul, please? So I remember what my question relates to. Thanks. I just want to make sure I understood you correctly, Brian, on the forms that MassDEP staff is no longer using to input information. I think you said the forms that were on or are on the database are going to stay. It's just going forward, you're no longer using those forms. Do I understand
Right.
that correctly?
So nothing's going away. Well, any data that is there we're not removing anything.
Right. Okay.
All our data is still there. Just, now when we get a notification now, our staff are not filling out a BWC 101 form. They're filling out kind of directly in our new system, and it does produce a PDF. I think we're just calling it a log form now. So it doesn't look exactly the same. It looks a little bit different. But I think pretty much the same information is on. I mean, the design was to contain that same information on that new PDF. And so same thing for like a 128 form. When we would upload documents, whether again it was a technical screen or an enforcement document, we would do that with a BWC 128 document. We're not doing that now. We're doing it through our own new application. But again, it does produce a PDF, which I don't know what we're calling that one. I think we're just calling that document upload form. We're very creative over here. And so it'll have that PDF, which is the form, and then it will have the attachment, whatever the attachment was. Does that answer your question, Michelle?
Yeah, I think so. So I'm just thinking, I don't know the form numbers. I'm thinking about like when a staff person goes out to do a site visit for an audit inspection or something like that. Like how does that
get
reflected in the database?
So same thing. Previously when we went out to go do an audit, a site inspection, we would fill out a BWC 102 form, and it would
Okay.
document, say, Brian Roden arrived at the site at this time, met with
Yeah.
so and so. And so now we're not doing that form, but we're filling out a very similar form inside our own application, which produces a very similar looking PDF. It's just not called the same thing. We're calling that one an inspection meeting form. So it'll cover the same things. It just looks different.
Wait, okay. But one can still find it and hopefully like it'll have some identifying name, like you just said, like inspection.
Yeah, I think on the
reports
top
or
of it, it
something.
says inspection meeting form.
Yeah,
Everything's still being uploaded to the data portal, so it's still on searchable sites.
yeah,
You'll see it in the site history.
perfect. Thanks. That's helpful.
Yep.
I have a question on this, Brian. It seems like the new system is only sortable by RTN and not by address. Does make it a little bit more difficult at times. Is that going to change?
I don't know the answer to that. So you're saying the new searchable sites, you can't sort by address.
Right, you can't input an address, at least that's what I've been told by some of my colleagues, and then have it come up that you can only sort it by or search it by RTN.
I don't think that's correct, but
Yeah, I don't think that's right either.
yeah, I just was doing a search actually, and then I was able to sort it like alphabetically. So if you went to like a town and pick a town, and you can still sort by address alphabetically if you enter the correct address, it comes up. It's just maybe very particular about the way you enter the address. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think the old one, the address was kind of I forget the terminology, but it was an exact match. It was kind of a fuzzy match.
Yes.
And the new one I think might be, unfortunately, an exact match. I think we have made that comment and we're trying to get that resolved.
Okay.
Hi, this is Joe Jamalo. I agree with Joel that you cannot sort by address. The older system allowed you to do that, so you could sort it alphabetically by street. You cannot do that now. It won't allow you to sort the address column. And I've tried this many times. And if you have, if you're looking for sites by address in towns that have many, many RTNs,
Yep.
it's very difficult now.
Okay.
It used to be you could just click on that column and and it would sort by address.
I think I think I know.
I'm trying that right now and I see that it's
Yeah.
not working. So I'll bring that up as an issue with our IT group.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
think, Brian, what happened is it's putting all the numbers first. So it's because of the precision that's been added. It's sorting everything that has a number as part of the address. It's putting all them first. And then later, if there's not a number affiliated with the address, it is alphabetical. So if it was just, Wells Ave or something like that, that part is alphabetical. So I think if you remove the precision so that the ones that have a number as part of the address and focus on the first letter instead, I think that'll solve the problem.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, just want to comment that we most certainly need and respectfully request your feedback, your honest feedback on the IT side of the house. We are currently engaging with IT folks, and clearly we want to ensure that features that are helpful for you and tools to help with your work and ensure that you have answers and you can actually access the information, etc. We want to bring that as a priority for full attention with IT, and we have this interactive, consistent approach to meeting with IT and ensuring that any of these glitches are fixed. So Brian is running point on for me anyway on this topic alongside other individuals that are really putting all the energy behind. So we really truly appreciate candid, honest feedback. Likewise, we're hearing the same from internal to the EP staff that are also providing commentary. So please continue to do that. It's very important. We got to get it right. Thank you. And thank you, Brian, for doing all this very important work.